welcome to Two Guys Garage. I'm driving one of the coolest cars you can imagine. And I am surrounded by automobile art. Everywhere I look, up and down this stretch, and we're gonna end up down the street here, gonna get a cool view of what life's all about. So you guys stick around. This is gonna be one of the funnest days I'm gonna have in quite a while. Hey, all across America, you got car clubs. These guys are coming together on weekends after work. These car clubs become families after a while. Today, we're with the Factory 5 family. So we're gonna check out where the heart and soul came from, where the beginnings started. So come along, we're gonna check out the inside. Now, some guys are builders and some guys are drivers. Now, you can see this thing has been through almost a war. Now, John is, what, third place, NASA Series, Challenge Spec Car, for top in the country, right?
Yep.
And you just love getting out there every weekend and ripping it up?
Yeah, it's fun actually. The series is all spec. It's all driver skill that gets you up front, I guess. The car has the guts from a Mustang, and you just put it in here and pull down everything and go racing.
Yeah, what's cool about this series is you can get in for very low dollars. You're not racing a guy with a bigger wallet. You got a donor Mustang, and next thing you know, you're like head to head with all the other guys on the field. It's a great way to get out there and literally burn a lot of rubber off the tires and go have a good time. All right, I had to meet Gary, because Gary's on what, how many cars?
This is my 10th and that's my 11th car over there.
No, you would think after building one, maybe a different model, you'd be done. What makes you keep going?
You know, every time I build them, most of the fun is in creating them, and then I come up with these different ideas on what would I do the next time, and then I usually get offered money or something for the car, and then I'm like, you know, let's do it again. Building the car is, if I had to buy one, it wouldn't be any fun. It's completed. It's just, the fun is in building.
Well, I can definitely tell you're having fun, and I want to have some fun. He's promised me to let me drive some of these cars. I'm going to take them up.
Oh, we're going to have a good time, that's for sure.
Man, I should be careful I don't drool on some of these cars. And we're at Factory 5. We're in their showroom where we get to see pretty much all their products. Hey, Dave, this is the guy that started everything. He's the guy that makes it all happen. And you saw outside we got a lot of good eye candy. Fit and finish is awesome, but Dave's going to show us a little bit about what's underneath, what really makes the soul of these cars.
Right, how we make them. I mean, a lot of people can make a pretty car. And what set Factory 5 apart was chassis design, suspension, chassis, and really computer design. It started, and I can show you over on the chassis, back really in the early 90s. CNC revolution, laser cutting, being able to design something on a computer and test it on a computer. And then when you go to manufacturing, it's a matter of reducing it to practice. So, you know, here's one of our chassis, and you can see it's really a space frame design. We designed it on SolidWorks software. It's 3D designed, and you know, from a performance standpoint, it's extremely light, but it's very rigid. So it delivers a lot of performance that a lot of customers didn't have.
And that's really what the heart of the car is a stiff frame. You get a spring in there, now you can't dial in your suspension. Let the springs be at the corners, let this be a solid piece. You've got plenty of safety. You've got the chassis with the running gear on it, and now you can put that beautiful body on it and make it a complete car.
It makes it fun too, because we're in our 9th year. Next year's our 10-year anniversary of our race series. And when you race, racers are very demanding. The car either works or it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't win. And so I can show you, we can go back to the welding shop, and I can show you how we design the tooling and the jigs and fixtures, and not just how we make the stuff, but also how we make the stuff.
Oh, I'm excited, because I'd love to see how you guys put these together.
Right on.
All right, let's go check it out. Yeah, now this is a real jig. Now you guys have seen us do temporary jigs on the show. You know, Brian's building his hot rod, but this is a full-on dedicated piece of hardware. I mean, this precisely puts everything where it's supposed to be, right?
Well, I mean, that's one of the advantages of our company is, you know, we're making all this stuff in the United States. So every piece of steel that we sell, we make here.
Awesome.
All of these parts are precision cut. Hey, Kev, you want to grab me a part, Kev? All of these parts are laser cut in advance, and then they're drop welded into this chassis jig. So the jig, why don't you show Kevin here? This is Kevin. These parts here have laser cut tabs already put in them. So when we're making a mount, the pieces go together pretty accurately. Now the advantage when you're doing this is your scrap rate is 0. And when you're making stuff in today's economy, we pay our welders good wages. You know, we're an American company. We got to be really smart about how we do stuff. So we're reinforcing American labor with really good technology.
That's cool. I mean, so you got jigs, and not only the jigs help locate, special features like that turn this into sort of a precision manufacturing chassis build.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the challenge. You know, we can make cars one at a time and do it slowly. Your cost will be twice as much. Whereas when we make stuff using high technology, we're using modern craftsmanship, but we're still making it in the United States. So these parts here, like, you know, you have a control arm from the hot rod. There's laser cut steel plates, round tubing that's precision cut, and parts that are dropped into a computer designed jig. And then these parts, this is your front cantilevered control arm for the hot rod.
So that's the quality and repeatability and that end product that when you look out on the street or in the showroom, all that fit and finish, I mean, it's pretty obvious. But you're going to feel that, you know, in the way the car drives, the way it handles,
Absolutely.
You know, and how long it's going to last.
Yeah, variability is the enemy. Even on bending, you know, we'll put the tick marks in the steel so that when you bend it, you know exactly where you're bending it. That's still a structurally part, but having this the same every time is really important. And when we go through our shop, you know, we've got 4 chassis jigs for the Roadster and the Coupe and the hot rod and the mid-engine GTM, and then rotisseries really along the side where the finish welding's taking place.
Sure.
But when you have high tolerance steel in tight tolerance jigs, assembly welded by certified welders, you end up with a product that's really reproducible and reliable, and then when you go on the street, they all drive the same.
And to be honest with you, I mean, I fabricate a lot on my own too. There's no way to get fitment that tight, and anybody who's welded anything, you put a gap between 2 pieces and weld it, and that weld will shrink, and everything starts to move, and all the suspension points aren't where you thought they were going to be, and I mean, there's just no way for even myself without this kind of jig to build something of that high quality.
Right, and also your costs go up when you're grinding and deburring and fitting things over and over. These are laser cut parts that are dropped in and welded right the first time.
Cool. I like it.
Well, let's check out the molding area. I'll show you how we make the composite parts.
Sure. Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to check out the fiberglass and body side of things. Now this is either a really cool snow sled or maybe I'm guessing a Roadster hood.
Yeah, well, it's a hot rod hood, and just like in the welding area where we have technology that helps our guys build good parts, in the molding area, we've got a CNC cutting machine that's cutting basically glass cloth, carbon fiber, headliners, carpeting material. It's cutting the patterns that drop into these molds. Then our guys are rolling these molds out. They're using vinyl ester resin. They're rolling the parts out, make sure there's no voids. And then when this part cures, we're going to kick it, pull it, and put it in the robot to trim.
Nice. What's cool is you guys have these technologies. It's really enabling the craftsman to do his job better. That's
right.
That's
well,
awesome.
I mean, the truth is that you can have all the best technology in the world, but at the end of the day, our welders are welding the parts. The technology just makes it easier.
Right.
On the CNC cutting side, and especially on the robot trimming side, the parts are more consistent. They fit better, but at the end of the day, someone's got to roll it out perfect. So this is American labor, and we're really proud of it.
Cool. I'm excited. Let's go see some more.
Let's go see chassis assembly.
Right on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to see some chassis assembly. Hey, welcome back. We're at Factory 5 Racing, and we're in the chassis assembly. We're pretty much at the very end of what you guys do here, right?
Yep.
Now, I see a lot of panels here. Tell me what's going on.
Well, back in the day, an old kit car was a platform frame with fiberglass plopped on top of it. We have a space frame. So what we're doing is we're taking pieces of aluminum that are laser cut, and we're bending and forming them and putting them to make the foot boxes, the engine bay, the trunk, the cockpit. Basically, I'll show you how they work.
Now, as a guy at home, he's going to get all these pieces just boxed up. Has he got to figure out where they go?
Right, that's a good point. I mean, if we gave you 80 pieces of aluminum in a box, you'd want to kill us trying to build this car. So what my guys do is they come in, and once again, these are CNC parts. So their bend marks are already in the aluminum. Cool. They're bending them, forming them, and positioning them with Tech screws. So now you've got your foot box. This is a coupe model. You get your foot box, your cockpit, your trunk area, splash guards. These get put on, then the body goes on, and that goes over to shipping.
For a regular guy, this could take a long time to get this all to fit.
Yeah,
but it comes out of the box looking just like this.
Yeah, Josh and Fred do this for everybody, and that way the guys know where the parts go, and they're lined up really nice. So you can see the interference fit is pretty tight.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is about pretty much the end of the line here. You guys are going to box some stuff up, or what happens now?
Right, now that's the chassis part of the kit. Now on top of this, remember, we don't do running gear, but we do everything else. That means the seats, the interior, the gauges, the fuel lines, the brake lines, the battery lines, the trim, the headlights, all the rest of the car.
All that
and that's
stuff
put
you
in
can be
packaging
chasing for months or even years to try to put together.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's about it. It's I think it's time to be driving something.
Let's go hit it.
All right, that's what I heard.
Good deal.
Cool. Stay tuned. We're gonna go hit the road. Dave took me up with this sweet Roadster. So this is gonna be my ride for the cruise. I get to be part of the gang. So you guys get to ride along with me. This is a cruise. You got a whole family right here. Everybody's excited. Everybody's a total gearhead, a car fanatic. I don't think there's a better way to spend an afternoon than going on a cruise with a bunch of your buddies. Mine too. Hey, I wonder how hard Brian's working back at the shop, because I can tell you what, I'm not working at all except to keep this grin from wrapping around my head. We're taking the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts over by storm. We're right here at Plymouth Rock, where the Pilgrims came over and helped get this party rolling.
Coming into Plymouth today was incredible. Everybody stops, and it's a car show everywhere we go.
Same people hanging out with the same interests. They all work on them. Most people, you know, they're asking questions. You know, what'd you do here? What'd you do on the clutch, the engine, the brake? You know, whatever. It's a lot of fun.
You'll see one or two on the road, but when you see 20 or 30 together, it's kind of impressive.
Coming to here when we were doing skids all over here.
Dad wasn't doing skids,
That was the
he?
people in front of us.
Yeah, and you.
Dad!
Oops.
We got the Mayflower. Pilgrims came over, started all this just years ago. It was a scenic drive the whole way from the shop down here.
Awesome time.
One of the best days I've had in a long time.
Good fun.
It was cool checking out the shop, how they make them, but I actually enjoyed the drive like this much better.
Well, it's fun to build a car, but when you put the proof in the pudding is when you drive them.
Yeah, now speaking of driving, they got some shifter carts back at your shop.
It creates some mayhem.
Yep, so we're gonna stick around. A lot of the guys and the ladies are doing some shopping, grabbing some bites to eat. I think we're gonna stick around for a little bit and then go go-karting.
Alrighty.
Let's do it.